to a course on mathematics of finance. We have been discussing about the concept of compound interest in the previous lectures. Actually, we have started with the concept of simple interest and then we moved to compound interest. We are about to complete the concept of compound interest. Yes. Okay. In this lecture, we are going to talk about something called effective rate and nominal rate of interest. What do we mean by these things? Have we come across these things? Yes, of course we have come across these things, and without even knowing this is the thing that we are discussing, we have discussed these things. Yes, when the rate of interest is specified and when it is compounded half yearly or quarterly or monthly or daily instead of compounding yearly, we get more interest, right? In this case, what is happening actually? We specify some interest and that is going to be the interest rate, but when we compound it more than once in a year, we are getting some extra thing. That means the representative, the rate of interest representative is what given in the problem or that we specify, but actual thing happening there is something different, right? There are two things. The actual thing that is happening there is known as effective rate of interest, and the thing that we specify, that we represent, is called as the nominal rate of interest, right? We have seen some problems. Actually, we have seen several problems of this sort. In this lecture, we are actually going to see what do we mean by nominal rate and what do we mean by effective rate, how to calculate these things. Still now we have not calculated effective rate. With the nominal rate, we have calculated the interest and the total amount, all sort of these things we have done, but we have not yet calculated what is the effective rate of interest. That is what we are going to do, and even more we are going to do in this lecture. That is, when interest is compounded continuously. Continuous in the sense, is it going to compound daily? No. In an hour? No. Each and every second, to be precise, each and every millisecond, nanosecond, it is going to compound. In that case, the calculation is going to be very huge, right? Yes, of course. In that case, what is going to happen with the interest? That also we will see in this lecture. Let us get into the lecture. Now let us start the technical details of effective rate and nominal rate of interest. During a problem, during the compound interest calculation, we are given with some rate of interest that we represent as R, and this is what we call it as nominal rate of interest. Okay, so this is specified in whatsoever the problem that we deal with. This is specified when interest is being calculated more than once in a year, we are going to get more interest. That is, whenever you increase the number of times of calculation of interest, you are going to get more and more amount as the interest, which means there is some rate which is implementing than this. That is quite bigger than this R percentage of interest. Okay, that one we call it as effective rate of interest, right? So when it is compounded half yearly, we replace R with R upon 2, right? And N will be replaced with 2N. When it is compounded monthly, we replace R with R upon 12 and N with 12N, right? Suppose let us take the case when the interest is compounded 5 times in a year, which means we will replace R with R upon 5 and N with 5N. So this is going to take place, right? Here R is given, R upon 2 is that we find. So this R upon 2 is the is not actually the effective rate of interest. We shall denote effective rate of interest as S. And how are we going to calculate this S? That is what we will start with in this lecture. Okay, so if it is 5 times, this is happening. Suppose the interest calculation is taking place m times in a year. So in this case, what is going to happen? M times in a year. So in this case, we will replace r with r upon m and n with m times of n. So this will happen. Now let us see the calculation formally. In this problem, we are asked to calculate the effective rate of interest percent per annum equivalent to the nominal rate 12% per annum, the interest being payable half yearly. Since it is given half yearly, we are going to calculate interest twice in a year. Okay, let us start the problem formally. Given R is 12%, only this is given. Okay, when you calculate 12% of 100 rupees in a year, what are you going to get? 12 rupees, right? So we'll start that way. Since it is being payable half yearly, we are going to get something. Suppose let me put this way. As of now, forget about this is being calculated half yearly, quarterly. Forget about these things. If for 100 rupees with the principal of 100 rupees and for 1 year, right, you are calculating the interest at 12%. What are you going to get? So be it compound interest. So compound interest shall be written as amount minus principal. Amount is p times of 1 plus r upon 100 to the power n minus p. So when we take p as a common thing, we are going to get this thing. Okay, I am telling you principal is 100 rupees and 1 plus whatsoever the rate of interest that you for which you calculate, n is 1, and this is going to take place. In that case, the interest that you are going to earn is r, right? So this is actually happening. The same idea we are going to implement to this effective rate. Since we are calculating half yearly, we will replace r with r upon 2 and n with 2n. So here what you are going to get is your effective rate, right? So let us write, yes, this is the effective rate. Let us consider P is 100 and n is 1 year. Okay, it is going to be 100 times of 1 plus r is, okay, r upon 2. So r upon 2 upon 100 to the power 2. 2 times of 1 minus 1. So this we have. So 100 times of, we know r is 12. So it is going to be 6 upon 100 whole square minus 1. So this is 100 times of 1.06 whole square minus 1. And if you calculate this value, that is 1.06 square minus 1, that is 0.1236, right? So 100 into 0.1236, it is going to be 12.36. We have calculated this effective rate, that is simply we have calculated the interest. Okay, the interest that we earn for 100 rupees for a year when it is compounded half yearly. When generally be it simple interest or compound interest, for 100 rupees 12% of the interest is going to be 12 rupees, right? So for 100 rupees the interest is going to be 12 rupees. This is what, this is the we simply say 12% on all those stuff. It means what, for 100 rupees in a particular year we are going to get 12 rupees. That is what we represent as percentage per annum, right? So the same idea we have brought in here and we calculated this thing. So the effective rate of interest is 12.36%. Okay, here you might have got the idea of what do we mean by effective rate and what do we mean by nominal rate. Okay, in a problem, be it half yearly or quarterly whatsoever, in a problem they have specified 12%. This is nominal rate. Okay, if it is calculated only on yearly basis, you will get 12 here itself. But where it is calculated half yearly, that is why you get something different than 12 here. This is known as effective rate. Okay,
If you increase the number of calculation per year, you would get more than this. Okay, that is going to be the effective rate in that case. Let us move to the next problem. In this problem, we are asked, okay, actually, here we are asked to calculate it, the same problem, 12% per annum, but when it is compounded monthly. Okay, let us start it formally using the same assumptions as of the previous problem. Consider for 100 rupees we are calculating, and for 1 year, right? So what would we get? S is going to be 100 times of 1 plus r upon 12. You know r is 12, and is 100 times of 12 to the power 12 times of 1, which is 12 minus 1. This is 100 upon 1 plus 0 0.1. 12 gets cancelled, and it is going to be 1 upon 100. So it is 0.01 to the power 12 minus 1. So it is 100 times of 1.01 power 12 minus 1. So 1.01 to the power 12 minus 1. So it is going to be a 100 times of 0.126825. So it is approximately 12.68 percentage. Yes. You could have seen here, when it is compounded half yearly, we get only 12.36. But when it is compounded monthly, we are getting 12.68. The rate is increasing, right? So when we calculate more times in a year, we will get more amount as interest, right? Now suppose, let us consider the case when interest is calculated continuously. Continuously in the sense, not even in days. If it is days, we shall easily replace r with r upon 365 and n with 365 times of n. This is not happening. Okay, if it is per minute, so in 365 days we have 24 hours, and each hour has 60 minutes, which means we'll have 5,25,600. So in this case, we shall replace r with r upon 5,25,600 and n with 5,25,600 times of n. So this would happen when we compound daily for every minute. When we calculate this thing, if we increase the for seconds, we'll have to multiply 60 with this quantity. So this is not, when it is compounded continuously, in the sense for each and every second, for each and every million nanoseconds we are calculating. So in this case, we have generally written that r upon m and n with mn, right? So mathematically speaking, we don't know what is happening. It is going on. When something goes on, we just represent as m approaches infinity. We don't know what it is, but it is huge, very huge, a large quantity. This is how we take, right? So when we take something of this sort, what is actually happening with the formula, that we have to know, right? So generally S shall be written as 100 times of 1 plus r upon 100 m. So r upon m, so this happens to be like this, right? So this is happening, and here we'll have this thing minus 1. What is going to be effective rate in this case? When m approaches infinity, what is going to happen? That is what we are going to see. So this m approaches infinity means calculation is done continuously. This is what we mathematically represent as m approaches infinity, right? So continuously. Okay. So with m approaches infinity, we have to look at this thing. As of now, we cannot get into more details of this, the things happening here. So let me give you a mathematical result that we have, and that would help you, right? So 1 plus, we shall have what? Okay, let us have a upon n, okay, whole power n. This is e power a as n approaches infinity. This is a result, okay. So with this result only we are going to talk of these things, and here we shall consider, okay, let me write this side. Let us take r upon 100 as I. Okay, so when we take r upon 100 as I, this becomes s becomes 100 times of 1 plus this r upon 100. Okay, let me use different color. This r upon 100 becomes I, right? So this is going to be I upon m whole power m, and for this, let me and whole power n. This also we may write, because here we are making use of another result, that is a power mn shall be written as a power m whole power n. So we shall write like this as well. These are the two results that we make use here to derive the requirements. Okay, this one minus 1, this is what we have. And here what should we do? We have to take m approaches infinity. When we take m approaches infinity, this is going to become what? 100 times of this quantity alone will become e power I, and whole power n we have minus 1. So this one we shall write it as e power in minus 1. So this is for s. So when we are asked to calculate the effective rate when interest is compounded continuously, this is what we have. So this is the form. This is actually the formula. Okay. And for this case, when we are asked to calculate the amount, p times of 1 plus r upon 100 to the power n. Actually, this is interest. When we add it with the principal, we are going to get it, right? So this is happening. Okay, this is for 100 rupees. When we calculate it for the general principal, we'll have p here. So this would directly give me that. Okay. This would directly give me p times of e power I. Instead of directly writing it, let me derive here too. So this, when things are compounded continuously, we shall write r with r upon m, and this as mn, right? So here, as m approaches infinity, what is going to happen here? This p would be as it is, and this one we shall write it as 1 plus I upon m, and this one power n. So as a result, just like we have done here, when we calculate it, we are going to get e power in. Okay, so this is going to be the total amount. So with which we shall proceed to the problems that we have. If interest is compounded continuously at 6%, and how many years will an amount double in value? Okay, so let us start the problem. Given amount doubles when interest is calculated continuously. Since the calculation is done continuously, we'll have to do the things. Okay, so let us see from the previous thing. The total amount shall be written as principal times of e power in, where I is r upon 100. We shall write that. We know that amount shall be written as principal times of e power in, right? Here what they have given, amount doubles when interest is calculated continuously. So if we take amount as A, that is when we take principal as A is going to be 2A, right? So instead let us use other notations, right? Let us denote principal value as X. Then what happens? Amount is 2x. Okay, what is I here? I is R upon 100. R is 6%, so it is going to be 0.06. Okay, so A is 2x, P is x, e power 0.06 times of n. We need to find out this n value. X and x gets cancelled, so we are left with 0.06. N is 2. In order to bring this n down, we take log value, right? So log of e to the power 0.06 n is log 2. While dealing some problems in compound interest, I told you people that you may take any log, right? Here in specifically, if you take log with base e, that would be better, because when you take log e to the base e, this will become 1. So you will be left with 0.06 n is n times of log e to the base e is log e to the log to the base log 2 to the base e, and this becomes 1. Okay, so this becomes 1 and you will be left with what? Simply 0.06 n is log 2 to the base e. So how to calculate this log to the base e? That is, if you are if hopefully you will make use of scientific calculator. In scientific calculator, the symbol log represents log with base 10. Okay, ln represents log with base e. Okay, so using this you may do it. So my log 2 is 0.6931 approximately, and so let me write here 0.06 n is 0.6931, therefore n would be 0.6931 upon 0.06. When we divide this by 0.06, we would get approximately 11.55. So 11.55 years. In 11.55 years, amount will be doubled when the interest is 6% and is calculated continuously. Thank you.